What is up? My name's Brad and this is Operation N64. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, in this series we're trying to build an N64 collection starting off with just £10. By using our charity shops, our car boots, our Facebook marketplace, looking for stuff for cheap that we can sell for a profit to build a game fund to buy N64 bangers. Now, as always, before we get into this week's video, let's do the updates to the game fund, and we've made a few sales. Now, the first thing we sold was the American Ninja box set. We sold that for $12.99. Now, keep a lookout for this because when you scan it with the CEX app, I think they sell it for £6. They give you £2 trade-in, but this is the second time I've sold it for more than double what CEX is selling it for. So maybe it's very rarely in stock or hard to come by or whatever. But yeah, keep an eye out for the American Ninja box set. You can sell it pretty well on eBay. So yeah, $12.99 for that. We also sold that dinosaur, you know, the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World. Now I couldn't get it working, so I just listed it as not working. I stuck it up for 15 quid. Someone offered me a tenner, I took it. That's more than triple what I paid for it, so I'm pretty happy. So yeah, £10 for the Indominus Rex. And then we also sold that Tekken 3 for the PS1. I sold that for £12. So after fees and everything, that's a grand total of this to add to the game fund for a grand total of this. Pretty happy. Game fund's looking healthy. CEX credit is looking good. So I've got a bit of a busy week ahead of me. I've got loads of other commitments to take care of first. I'm still hoping to get out and do a bit of hunting. So fingers crossed we can. And maybe try and pick up a game. I do want to head down to Retribution down in Llanelli Market. So if we can get there and see if they've got any, hopefully pick a game up off the list. And I've also got something really cool coming up on the weekend. We're going to see Blink-182 in Birmingham, so I'm buzzing for that. So without further ado, let's get into this week's video. Let's go. What's up, guys? So this is my only opportunity this week to get out hunting. I've headed down to Llanelli, hit the charity shops. They're normally not great, but we're going to try our luck. And then we're going to head into Retribution. I love that shop. Hopefully they got an N64 game off the list. I've just been busy with loads of other stuff. Other commitments have just been taking precedent over this. And tomorrow I'm going to see Blink, which I'm buzzing for. So yeah, this is my only opportunity. Fingers crossed we find some stuff. Let's go. What is up, guys? Welcome back to Operation N64. Now, like I said, I didn't have much opportunity to go out hunting this week. So I dedicated a bit of time one day to go to Llanelli. The charity shops haven't been great to me in the past. It's been very hard to find stuff here before. But I wanted to go to Retribution. So I thought while I was there, I might as well check the charity shops out first. Yeah, so I had a little dig around, see what I could find. I saw bits and pieces. I saw that Funko Pop, but they had a $5 on it, so I didn't bother picking it up. Always check the DVDs. This one looked kind of interesting. Some of these horrors, these like obscure horrors, can have a bit of value. Unfortunately, this one did not. I saw a Muppets Christmas Carol. I love that film. It's probably one of my favourite Christmas films. I also had a look at these ice skates. I'm trying to broaden my horizons when it comes to stuff to try and sell on, but they had £25 on this, or £20, sorry. So that put me off straight away. They might have sold for a bit more, but yeah, the £20 price tag put me off. I also saw all these Turtles DVDs, but I checked back at my pictures on my old games room, and I actually have all these already. They weren't worth picking up to flip. Maybe I could have done a little bit of money for them as a bundle, but I didn't bother. And these were the first games I saw out on the shelves, just your FIFAs, your Fight Nights, your random Wii games. But always check the Wii cases, as I always say, you never know what you might find in there. Unfortunately, nothing this time round. Then a little flip through the DVDs. I did find one that I picked up to sort of hold on to for the future. Hopefully go up in value as the Christmas period comes along. Saw this 30 Days a Night. I used to love the first one. And then I saw something really cool, proper took me back. There's a CKY4 here, proper nostalgic, especially with having Blink on the weekend. Sort of goes hand in hand, that sort of thing. Jackass, CKY, you know, skateboarding, all of that. Sort of goes hand in hand with the punk rock, doesn't it? But yeah, very cool to see. Then saw all these VHS. I've given in and decided that I do collect VHS. But only specific, I go for the cartoons, the old 80s and 90s cartoons, maybe the wrestling stuff, or stuff that really takes me back. So I didn't see any here that I wanted to add. I did see Short Circuit, but yeah, I'm not going to go into picking up all the old 80s movies on VHS. It's just too much to take on. But then there was a box of games in here, and a few different ones to just your FIFAs and your normal junk. There was a Gran Turismo there. There's a couple of SmackDown games, but nothing crazy. I did find a Modern Warfare for the Xbox 360. As you guys probably know now, it's always worth picking up these Call of Duties on the Xbox 360 because they do hold a little bit of trade-in. So if you can get them for cheap enough, they're always worth picking up. And then after I was done in the charity shops, I decided to go to Retribution. Love that place. So guys, we're all done in Llanelli now. We went to Retribution, had a go on the arcade cabs, love the arcade machines. Picked up a game which I'll show you guys later, and I didn't catch it on film, but when I was in one of the charity shops, I asked the question, you know, have you got any more games? And they did, and he brought out a little stack, nothing crazy, but I picked up a couple of games here. I'll show you probably later as well. But yeah, just goes to show, always ask. But let's go see if we can head somewhere else now. I'm gonna Google if there's any more charity shops nearby. So yeah, let's keep going. So after getting my fill on the arcade cabs, I headed home and I stopped at every charity shop on my way. I popped into this one. This one's kind of out of the way, so it doesn't get a lot of people going there, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, I don't know. But I like to go in here just to try my luck. I saw this FIFA 17. I know there's about £3 trade in there. Unfortunately, it didn't have the right game in the box. Loads of FIFAs on the PS4 here. Battlefield for the PS4, again, no value in any of these, so I didn't pick any of them up. I then saw a load of PSP games in another charity shop. Again, a bunch of Pro Evos, FIFAs, Football Manager, there's a Tiger Woods and Formula 1 there. Then they had £2 a game on them, and none really I wanted to pick up for my collection. Just not for me. I then popped to the charity shop next door, and this place is renowned for pricing its games pretty high. They didn't have any there on this occasion. I did check through the DVDs, and again, they price their DVDs pretty high as well, especially box sets. They do slap a pretty hefty price tag on them. £6 for this Narcos, I think. Yeah, it's just too much for me. I did have a little flick through the other DVDs, see if there's anything interesting there. This kind of looked cool. Not something I collect, but really did like the cover art on this. Pretty sick. Doctor Strange, I do love that character, but not something I collect. And then I saw this Hercules, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Hercules. I believe this is his first film. I do not think it is any good. I could be wrong, but I don't believe it is very good. But yeah, very cool to see. Carried on looking through the DVDs for a little bit longer, but just didn't find anything worth picking up on this occasion. I then popped to another shadow shop literally next door to that one. This one is okay, hit and miss. Sometimes they price the games, sometimes they don't. Just depends, I suppose, on the visit. On this occasion, there weren't any games really to see, but they did have this box set, and you know me, guys, this is definitely something I would pick up. But unfortunately, it had £5 on it. The inside of the box was a bit broken, like where the discs hang and that. So I did leave it behind. I think they sell it in CX for like 20. I think you do get like 7 or 8 quid trading, but the condition on it just wasn't great, so I didn't want to pick it up to try and sell on. But it's definitely something I would have looked at. And then my last stop was my favourite place. No games this time, but I did have a boxed Xbox 360, £25. I don't suppose that's really that bad. It came with the Kinect camera as well. Everything was in there. It was proper grubby though. And I think CEX give you like £46 trade, but I just didn't fancy it on this occasion. It's quite dirty, and I just didn't want to mess around with it, if I'm honest. And then it was time to get ready. Time to go to Birmingham. Time for Blink. Let's go. We are back in the game space, and I'm looking like a bit of a full kit right now, but I picked this sick Blink t-shirt up from the gig the weekend. I had a fantastic time. I really enjoyed it. It was a great time with some friends. I had quite a skinful, I'm not going to lie, and I turned into a bit of a Frank the Tank when I've had a drink. And then I felt it quite bad the next day on the bus ride home. But yeah, very, very good weekend. Really enjoyed it. Managed to also steal a little bit of time to go out hunting, and we went to Retribution, which is what I planned to do. Didn't pick up a great deal of stuff to try and flip or sell on, but we picked up an N64 game, which is fantastic. So we spent a total of £56.50 this week, so we can deduct that from the game fund. Still pretty happy with how it's looking. Still got that CEX credit, which we're building to try and knock one of the big boys off. But let's get into the stuff I picked up to try and sell on, and the 1 or 2 bits I picked up for the collection, and then we'll get into the N64 game. So not a massive pickup this week in terms of stuff to try and sell on, but still I'm pretty happy. So the first thing we picked up is this brand new sealed copy of The Grinch. I picked this up like forward thinking. These, last year they kind of went up in value a little bit, especially in trade and CEX. So I picked this up to hold on to till the Christmas period. Hopefully try and sell it on. I paid £1 for it, which is a bit much for a DVD, but you know, hopefully, fingers crossed, it pays off and this thing goes up a little bit in value. And while I was in that shop, I practiced what I preach. I asked, have you any more games? Llanelli is renowned for not having any games in their charity shops. Whenever I go there, I make sure that I'm going to Retribution, and the charity shops are sort of like the second thought, because I always, prepare for the worst, because I hardly find stuff there. But anyway, I asked and he produced. There's a couple of games here, all for the Wii, pretty decent ones. I paid £1.50 a game, and the first one is Mario Galaxy. I think this is like a £7 trade-in. And the next one is Mario Galaxy 2. I think this is like a £9 trade-in. And then the last one is the Sonic and the Black Knight. I think it's only like a £3 trade-in, but still had to pick them up. Couldn't scan them at the time. Knew these two were worth a little bit. It's a Sonic game. It's got to be worth more than £1. So yeah, I picked these three up. And there's like £19 in trade-in right here, so not too bad at all. Then picked up one other game, and it is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. As we all know, these Xbox 360 Call of Duties have a little bit of trade-in. I think this one only has about £3, but for £1, it's still worth picking up to like triple your money. And that is everything I picked up to try and sell on. Like I said, I only had the one occasion. I think it was like half a day or maybe even like 4 or 5 hours where I was in Llanelli, and I tried my best. But I picked up an N64 game, which is fantastic. But before we get into that, I did pick up 1 or 2 bits for the collection. Now, the first thing I have, and I picked up multiple times, but it is GTA Vice City. And I only picked this up for the poster. I'm thinking maybe when the games room's up and running, this might have some use somewhere. I put this one up. This game is like 10 to the dozen. You find this in pretty much every charity shop. Doesn't have a great deal of value, but I wanted it for the poster, so I picked it up. And then this is super sick. Needs a little bit of attention, a little bit grubby, and one of the pages is kind of stuck, but we should be able to loosen it off with a hairdryer. But anyway, it is a Bucky O'Hare handbook or annual. This thing is sick. The official SPACE or Space Bucky O'Hare handbook. The colours in it are still really fantastic. It's definitely held up over the years. It looks great, but like I said, the back page here is a little bit stuck, but we should be able to sort that out. And this thing just looks so cool. I couldn't leave it behind. I think I paid like £3 for it though, which is a bit more than I like to. But man, when do you see this? I've never seen this before, so I could not leave it behind. Very cool. So let's get into the N64 game, and this game kind of goes hand in hand with this whole week. You know, we've been to Blink-182, which was my teenage years, and this game was very much my teenage years as well. I never skated myself, but still loved the games, and it is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Love these games. I still stick on a Tony Hawk game now and again and just have a go. It's one of them games you just pick up and play. I've been playing like the remastered ones on the PS4. Just before we moved house. It's just one, throw it on, play half hour, whatever. But yeah, love the Tony Hawk games. Yeah, wicked to pick this up. I'll show you closer. Now this game is a £60 game in CEX. They did me a solid deal on Retribution. He done it for £50. The thing's in pretty good condition, held its shape. The only one damage is that little tear in the corner there, but it is in really good shape considering. And there is one other thing that's wrong with it, and it doesn't have an insert. So that's why you knocked a tenner off. A tenner for an insert, I'll take that any day. I've ordered a new one, £2, I think I paid for it. But yeah, here's the cart, looking fantastic. Love this game. We'll have to pick up Tony Hawk Pro Skater, the first one. We've got the funny manual thing, and then the manual is in pristine condition. Oh, sick. Look at the Game Boy games on the back, Game Boy Color. See, I'll have to pick this bad boy up eventually. Very cool. Love me some Tony Hawks. But like I said, yeah, you knocked a tenner off because of the insert. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below of like reproduction, like inserts. I wasn't really a big fan of it, but for the sake of a tenner, I'll buy me a £2 insert any day. It's just to keep the structural integrity of the box and somewhere to hold the cartridge so it doesn't rattle about, I suppose. So yeah, I'm not too fussed. Obviously, if I can get the games with all the original stuff, I will. But on this occasion, I was quite happy to take a tenner off for the sake of that. So there she is, back in her protective box. Let's chalk it off the list. There it is, number 14. It's like the second to last cheapest game on the list. Just Earthworm Jim sits below it. Still got a ton of the like more expensive games to knock off, but like I said, we're working towards Conker's Bad Fur Day at the moment, and we're going to work our way down. So yeah, chuffed to bits. Let's stick this bad boy on the shelf. So there it is, guys, up on the shelf, looking fantastic. We are at 14 games in the N64 collection. I'm very happy with where we are. Hopefully we can start knocking these big boys off the list. Obviously, it's about building that fund up so we can afford them because they're very expensive. But that's the plan going forward, work our way down. And if any of you guys were at the Blink concerts over the weekend, London, Birmingham or Manchester, let me know in the comments below what you thought. I had a fantastic time, really enjoyed it. And as always, guys, if you are enjoying this series, smash that like button, consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, be rad, stay rad, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.